saw when I was looking at the gambling odds, the Cubs are the third most likely team to win the NL pennant as far as the odds go and shit. I was like, I don't know about that. That seems terrible.
Man, see, and that's exactly where I'm at. They're one of the people that I've got on my slow start. The Cubs are 1-4 so far with 7 errors in 5 games. Their bullpen's been blowing late leads. That does not equate to success in the major
No,
leagues.
no, and I'll give you that cold start thing there too. I mean, I'm looking at their lineup today against Atlanta. They're starting Darvish. Darvish has an ERA over 10 right now, which is
Oh my
ridiculous.
God.
I know, right? I mean, that's I mean, fucking terrible. All the hitters seem to be batting okay, honestly. Javi Baez, 6 ribbies already on the year, batting 389 to start. I mean, nothing wrong with that at all. Chris Bryant, 4 RBIs. I mean, Rizzo, 3 RBIs. So I mean, they're doing okay as far as hitting, but I mean, their pitching right now has just been piss poor to say the least. And I mean, that's you know, you win the World Series, don't give up on. Jake Arrieta was he was the Cy Young Award winner, I think, the year before they won the World Series. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, to me, that was just premature. Maybe there was some maybe internal conflicts or something going on with that, but that was a ridiculous move. I feel like.
You would have to think something else was going on to let go of a Cy Young Award winner. I have to agree there.
Yeah, 2 years after he wins it, but the year after he helps you win so he wins the Cy Young, the next year helps you win a World Series, and then you let go of him. I agree. And it couldn't have just been about money either. I mean, they pay. I don't know. I mean, the Cubs have as much money as any team in baseball. You know, they have as much money as the Yankees or the Red Sox or any of these teams. So, you know. It was weird, though, because they did look like a dynasty. I just felt like they were going to, it's kind of funny that the Dodgers have been in back-to-back World Series. I thought that would have been the Cubs going to 3 or 4 straight, honestly.
For sure, for sure. The Dodgers are built around power hitting and Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of weird, huh? And they are a great power-hitting team. I mean, they're the best power-hitting team right now, or the Yankees, one of the two, you'd have to say. But
Right.
the Dodgers find weird ways to get it done. I mean, they had Corey Seager was out last year. He's back, and I'm pretty sure he's playing pretty well. Bellinger is off the charts already. They literally traded for Manny Machado, who a lot of people, at least at the time of the trade, they said he was the best, or a lot of people thought he was the best player in baseball overall. Let him go. He didn't even. I mean, they had enough players that Manny Machado wasn't even playing at points in the World Series, and a lot of people thought he was the best player in baseball.
Yeah.
They let him go, and they're literally doing completely fine. Justin Turner, obviously, literally, they let Manny Machado go, and they're still the best power team in baseball. That's crazy to me.
How about them hitting 8 home runs on opening day?
I know, man. I feel like that's all because of Magic Johnson.
Yeah, they're studs out there, man.
Sorry, bro. That was an awkward pause. But yeah, I mean, they are the shit. I'm actually going to try to pull them up real quick. Who else do you have on your? How about some cold starts here?
Man, yeah, how about your Boston Red Sox? They have given up 45 runs in 7 games. They're 2-5 to start the season.
Yeah.
And clearly their pitching is not doing great.
No, honestly. I did see there was a statistic that through 5 games, I'm pretty sure I sent it to you over text or something, they had the highest starters ERA through 5 games of any team of all time, which is obviously not good. Chris Sale got ripped up. Chris Sale did come back, I think, 2 nights ago with a 1-run, 6-inning game where they still ended up losing 1-0. They couldn't get the bats working.
Man, and that's one of those teams that doesn't make no sense. I mean, we're talking about baseball where there's no cap, and the Boston Red Sox, one of the highest with some of the deepest pockets.
Yeah.
And I mean, granted, like I'm looking at a stat right here. They've scored 30 runs. Granted, they've given up 45. They've scored 30, which is the 4th most in the American League. So I mean, the bats aren't silent. It's just they're giving up too many runs. Yeah.
Well, and even more so to add to that, they got shut out in one game. Well, they got shut out in 2 different games. They lost 7-0 one game and 1-0 one game. So I mean, that's all of those runs have actually come in. I mean, when they do hit, they hit pretty well. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the whole team isn't doing very well. They're playing right now against Oakland. I actually just saw Mookie Betts is up right now. Just took a ball for ball one. You know, their lineup to me isn't looking terribly deep right now, though. I mean, realistically, I love Jackie Bradley. Like, I really love Jackie Bradley, mainly defensively. But, you know, he's batting 185 so far, and that's I mean, if he gets to like 220, that'll probably be good. You know what I'm saying? They don't really have like a third baseman, so Eduardo Nunez is playing third base today. Well, I guess Devers, but I'm not sure. Maybe he got hurt. But I don't know. They're just. I'm not really a Nunez guy. Brock Holt is okay. He played really good. This is the thing too. All these guys played ridiculous in the postseason run last year, where they won the World Series. So it's tough to really bitch. I mean, Brock Holt played incredible. Steve Pearce played incredible. Steve Pearce this season doesn't have a hit. You know, these guys all lit it up in those months, or the final month of the season. Obviously, winning the World Series, fucking huge deal. But I don't know. They need to get a little bit more hitting here. I mean, Steve Pearce is a beast, but there's a reason, you know, that they got him for, you know, basically nothing, like $4 million or whatever it was. You know what I mean? Like, it's and even guys, you know, like Benintendi and Bogarts and stuff like that. They're I think that for the Red Sox to get back to the World Series, they're going to have to take the next step in their game specifically and get on that J.D. Martinez, Mookie Betts level, and probably Devers too. You know what I mean? Like, all of those guys need to take a step up if they're going to get back, especially with the pitching.
Yeah, for sure, man.
I mean, Nathan Eovaldi is the number 2 now. I mean, he lit it up in the playoffs. David Price is still the number 3. Again, lit it up in the playoffs. But I mean, what can you really expect out of those 2 guys as your second and third best pitcher? You know?
Yeah, and they let Craig Kimbrell go. What was going on with that? Do they have another closer to replace him?
Not on that level. Again, that's one where they went the other way around. You know, I mean, he lit it up again in the playoffs. He had times last year where he was looking weird, but still finished pretty good. And then obviously in the playoffs lit it up. I mean, I don't really know. That's one of those situations that and Keuchel too. Dallas Keuchel is still available. I don't know why he was let go by Houston.
Right.
But I wonder if it's something internal or if it's just they don't want to pay them that much. I mean, the contract situation this offseason was actually, I think, other than like Nolan Arenado and maybe like Chris Sale, maybe, it was worse than it was projected to be. Well, Mike Trout, I mean, he had the best contract of all time, but you know what I mean? Like, the contracts didn't. So I think that there might be like they might have tried to price themselves out of the market, but to me, Boston should get both of those guys right now. I mean, Dallas Keuchel could be the number 2 starter. He probably would be the number 2 starter if he was back in normal form. And then Kimbrel, I mean, they don't have a closer on that level. They let Joe Kelly go also, you know, who was a setup man, but he was a stud. It's just really, really weird. And I'm as a Red Sox fan, I am not really into it.
For sure, man. For sure. Do you want to transition over to some of the hot starts now?
Yeah, what you like, man?
All right, man. I've been looking at the Tampa Bay Rays and their pitching, man. They've only given up 11 runs in 7 games.
You a Rays fan, 5-2,
huh? Man, they're looking good, man. Only 11 runs in 7 games. When you can pitch that well, you're going to win a lot of games.
Yeah. Is that the least in the league? I'm trying to look at it right now.
I believe it is. I think that is the least amount of runs given up in major leagues. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's quite a bit. Or by 4 runs. Minnesota's also pitching pretty well.
I think they've only scored like 17 or like less than 20, which is which is insane. But
yeah, I'm seeing 22 right here, but that's actually, other than the Yankees, that's the worst in the AL East. How do the Yankees only have 20 runs? Doesn't even make any sense. I hate the Yankees though. I'm happy about that. But yeah, Blake Snell, man. Blake Snell back. Obviously, he was kind of a surprise winner of the Cy Young last year. But I mean, dude, so far, so fucking good with Tampa Bay. And Tampa Bay almost made the playoffs. I mean, the thing about the AL last year is, like, you had to have a ridiculous record to even. I mean, I don't even remember how many wins. It was like 93 wins or something to get into the playoffs. So And Tampa Bay had like 90 wins last year or something like that. I mean, so they really are a good team. And they do it the farm way, a lot like Atlanta, you know. But I agree with you there. I think that it'll cool down. I wouldn't be surprised if they made the playoffs, honestly. I mean, we can get into that in a little bit here, but I mean, I think it's between probably them and the Yankees right now in the East. But how about some other hot
Yeah,
spots?
I mean, I'd be surprised if they kept this kind of pace up. I mean, that's a ridiculously low amount of runs given up. So I'll be surprised if they can keep up this pace, obviously. But they got to start hitting some runs in and keep up the pitching.
Yeah, I follow that, man. Who else you got, man?
Man, I also got Seattle. They scored 56 runs so far. They are going off with the bat.
Yes, they are. And they just gave up Robinson Cano, and they got better somehow. Yeah, they have one more run than the Dodgers so far this season. 7-1.
No. The Seattle Mariners look good so far. Yeah, they're 7-1 to start the season off.
They the only thing that I see, their pitcher.
Yeah. And the only thing I see going wrong with them is they've given up 39 runs so far. That's the third most in the major leagues. So I mean that you definitely can't keep doing that. 56 runs scored though. I mean I don't know that is going to be able to continue with. I don't know that they have any real stars on the offensive end. So.
No, I don't either. I mean, they've got basically the best out of everybody that they could get right now. I feel like. I mean, I see
exactly through 8 games, they've gotten some pretty good production out of those players.
Yeah, I was before I called you. I was looking at the Cy Young odds and all this stuff, and I went to ESPN and they actually had a predictor of who was going to win the Cy Young and the MVP and stuff like that. Based on all sorts of fucking analytics and shit like that, they predicted that Marco Gonzalez, the pitcher for the Mariners, was going to win the Cy Young, and that Felix Hernandez would come in like 5th or something like that. I mean, so for some reason, ESPN's analytics machine thinks that Seattle has really, really good pitching somehow.
All right, man. I hope that's true. I like seeing the Mariners do well, man. It reminds you of the Griffey days.
I love the Griffey days, man. Everybody's favorite player of all time right there, right?
It makes you want to bust out the teal jerseys.
Yeah, man. They should go back to those, honestly, for at least nostalgia night.
Oh, those were the best.
I agree.
Those were the best.
I'm looking at, so I mean, they're 7-1. I mean, that's the best record in baseball, I'm sure. Yep, Milwaukee's 6-1. Who else you got on your hot takes or your hot teams?
Man, you just said it. The Milwaukee Brewers and Christian Yelich out there.
Yeah. Yelich is a dog, dude. Yeah, Yelich, he's the best player in baseball right now, as far as today.
He's got to be.
Yeah, I agree, dude.
He's got 7 extra base hits so far through these 7 games. I mean, 4 home runs. I think it was like 3 doubles. So the dude's producing.
I love Christian Yelich. I'm happy he won the MVP last year. I was rooting for him for sure. And, you know, I'm looking here. They only have a +3 run scored differential somehow. 28 runs scored to 25 runs given, and they're 6-1. I don't know how that is. I'm guessing they got destroyed in one game.
That's what I was just thinking. They had to have gotten blown up in one game.
Either way, though, I mean, the entire NL Central is dog shit right now. There's 3 teams with 1 win. St. Louis is the second best at 500. I know it's early, man, but Milwaukee looks strong.
The only thing with Milwaukee, I don't know who else they have other than Yelich. Like I know that we got Chassin, that they're one of their pitchers. I know they've got some good pitching, but I don't know who else they've got out there. Oh yeah, Brian Braun.
I should probably know more of this. But let me look at this real quick. Yeah, I mean, Yelich is on fire. He's batting .375, 4 homers, 8 ribbies, slugging 1,000, which obviously is not normal. God damn it. Where is their motherfucking team? Yeah, so they won 1-0 last night. Johnny Peralta struck out 11 in a shutout, so that was huge over over Cincinnati. But yeah, as far as their hitting, Lorenzo Cain in center field, he saved that one game earlier in the season. Travis Shaw at third, Jose Aguilar at first, Moustakas at second. So I mean, they got a kind of a team